So, welcome. Yeah.
Že vítajte.
Nice. Thanks for this opportunity, for this invitation. Yes.
Ďakujeme vám za tú možnosť.
First of all, to the owner here, because as you probably know, we're running a PNF course these days here, an official course.
Neviem, či viete, ale práve nám prebieha vlastne PNF kurz.
And by the way, it's good to give you some tips regarding this concept. Yeah? Are you familiar with that? Because I know some of you have been already in the course, yes? Yes? Oh.
But not here.
Not here, yes. It was in Prague, yes? Ah,
She as well.
You as well, yeah? Okay. But it was from another subject, yes? Not the PNF that time.
No, the PNF.
Was it about the Malaga?
Malaga.
Oh, okay, yes, yes.
Či máte niekto
Okay,
skúsenosti s
that's right,
PNF?
yes,
Alebo
because
boli ste?
I was thinking, it was the previous time? Yeah, no, it was in Prague. Okay, good. So, nice. But Sylvia, you were in the course, yes? Yes, that's good. That's good, you were in the course. So, regarding the PNF, are you somehow familiar with this? Do you know what's that? Have you listened about that? Maybe you had some classes at school years ago, yeah? No?
Počuli ste niečo o PNF? Mali ste
Yeah,
nejaké
at
v
school,
škole?
yes. What you learn? Yeah? Put the patient on the bed and start to do these strange patterns, yes? Up and down. Yeah? Everybody has this idea, yes, about this PNF, which is of course not exactly, it's wrong idea. Yeah? We don't do this normally. We don't place the patient on the bed and start to move in a strange way, diagonals.
Čiže toto nerobíme s pacientom, že ho položíme na lôžko a začneme s ním robiť diagonály.
Yeah.
To už nerobíme v PNF.
Not really. Yeah?
Veľmi nie.
Actually, it's a concept, which means contains philosophy.
Je to koncept. Má to filozofiu.
And of course, we have principles, basic principles, tools to work with. In general, I would say that PNF is, it started years ago, many years ago. It's one of the oldest concepts because basically came from two famous people. Because probably you know these names from if you dealt with a PNF in the past, Dr. Cabot, because it was known as a Cabot method before it became PNF concept. Yes, and Margaret Nod. She was the physio. She was actually working in a military hospital after the Second World War, and together with other concepts like the Bobots, like Root, like Pertot, this old already belongs to the history, Brandstrom, they developed together. It was the time after the Second World War, because the demand was like that, because of a lot of injured people, yes. But it was the first time that these concepts, the pioneers actually, the inventors, they came with that the body could recover, yes, especially the neuro patients, because till that time they believed that if somebody got, for example, a stroke or something in the central nervous system, it just happened and nothing can happen after that, yes. Of course, they started first without research, without any evidence, but from observing and by instinct, they started to believe that it couldn't be like that. And they thought that patients after central nervous system damage, injuries, whatever, could recover nicely. So it means they could gain again function on the impaired and let's say, parts of the body. Yeah? This is how it came. That's why they started to activate the body, to develop the motor control, to develop nice techniques. That was the initiative by them. Yes.
Dobre, čiže vlastne PNF je celkom stará metóda, mnohí ste už počuli meno ako je Cabot, predtým sa to volalo v minulosti Cabotová metóda a boli to vlastne založené Hermanom Cabotom a pani Notovou. Spolupracovali spolu sa to vyvíjalo v období, keď vlastne fungovali Bobatovci, napríklad potom aj Brunštromová. No a vlastne predtým v minulosti sa to liečilo napríklad po príhodách, že len nejako, ale oni vlastne potom zistili, že ten neurologický systém má schopnosť vlastne obnovenia. No a to je vlastne...
Yeah. I said a lot, yeah, I know. Long sentences. Okay, So if we go more closely now to PNF, what is PNF? Okay, you probably know about that's PNF is abbreviation of Proprioceptive Neuromuscular Facilitation, yes?
Čiže asi viete, že PNF znamená proprioceptívna neuromuskulárna
In all courses
facilitácia.
we make some fun in the beginning. The first day we say, actually PNF means people need fun. Yeah, patient need fun, people need fun.
First as well.
Yeah, of course.
Čiže je taký vtip, že vlastne, že pacienti potrebujú srandu.
Yes, but okay, if we just try to make a definition around the PNF today, we say that it's a way which we stimulate, the receptors in the body, the extra receptors, talking about vision, about tactile, talking about the sensation, yes, talking about also auditive information, plus proprioceptors, yes, proprioceptors, which I think you remember what is, why we need these proprioceptors. It's because they gives us the information about where is the body without using the vision, yes.
Čiže stimulujeme vlastne exteroreceptory, čiže ako je zvuk, zrak a dotyk, a takisto potom tie proprioceptory, ktoré asi poznáte zo školy.
Yes. So we try to stimulate all the receptors in the body, basically the extero and the proprioceptors, and this information goes, of course, to brain for analysis.
Čiže stimulujeme tieto receptory a táto analýza ide hore do mozgu.
This analysis and the process of making decision because of the stimulation, we call it as a perception. Yes, the analysis is a perception, and then we make decisions. And because of these decisions, we have actions from the brain, which actions is actually organized or executed by the effectors, by the muscles. Yeah? That's why you have this relation with the neuromuscular. Yeah? So we have the stimulation, proprio, exteroceptive, and then the decision making by the brain, the effectors the muscles makes the execution of this decision, which could be organized in and characterize the motor behavior. Yes?
Čiže tieto stimuly idú do mozgu z tých proprioceptorov a potom vlastne ide reakcia vonku, ktorú nazývame motor control? Or not? You said
yes,
I
said in order to make it easy to understand, it's that we give stimuli through the receptors.
Čiže dávame stimul pomocou receptorov.
Give stimuli based on these cascading pathways, informs the brain about what's going on, what information is this from the environment, and then makes decision, and the decision makes through the commands to the muscles to take actions.
Čiže z tých
And
receptorov
that defines the motor behavior.
to ide aferentne do mozgu a potom z mozgu eferentne vlastne do svalov.
Yes. So I can give you some examples, and through these examples I can explain you also the principles. Yes, I think this way it's going to be better. Could you please help me?
Dáme si nejaké príklady.
Yeah.
Teraz.
Okay.
Again, me.
It's you all the time?
It's me all the time.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know why. You
I
like
don't either,
maybe?
No,
You don't like?
because you wanted to pair her with your son.
Yeah.
Ah, probably. Who knows? We'll see.
Did it work out?
Okay. So let me give you some examples.
Dáme si nejaký príklad.
Okay. As I said, this stimulation can be external.
Čiže táto stimulácia môže byť extra.
So if I touch, yes, already
Čiže
I have
dotykom.
some stimulation, yeah. And this stimulation can, the body has a tendency to follow. So if I start to move, then we have already some reactions.
Čiže máme nejakú reakciu
Yes. So I can guide.
a vieme ju viesť.
I can guide. And what do you see? Shifting of the weight.
Vidíte teraz presúvanie váhy.
So when I shift the weight here, what I expect, maybe some steps like this. Yeah. Maybe this. Or maybe just only weight shift.
Alebo len presun váhy.
Sometimes if I do in a different way, maybe I can have walking patterns.
To robím iným spôsobom, tak môžeme mať chôdzu. Alebo vzorec
Sometimes I
chôdze.
can have walking backwards.
Alebo chôdzu dozadu.
Sometimes I can expect, for example,
Niekedy viem očakávať
sideways.
lateroflexiu.
And you see, I don't try to use commands, not explanations. No.
Nepoužíva tie príkazy.
Yes, a little bit stress, yes. Just wait for me, wait for me. Wait for me. Wait for me. That's good. That's good. Yeah. You feel
I feel confused.
confused, yes? You feel confused. Okay, better to see me, huh? Okay, let's do it like this.
Okay.
So I try not to use commands, just only to guide the body and see what's going on, yeah?
Čiže nebude používať povely, ale len bude viesť telo.
Okay, it will come, it will come, it will come, it will come. Yeah,
Are we doing tango?
kind of.
I'm not a good model.
No, you're okay. You're very okay. You're very okay. I will try to do something and then I will explain you. Yes. Yes. Maybe this. Yes. Or maybe this. It's good. You're too flexible, and this is good. It's a challenge. It's good. Yes. You're young. Yes, you're young. Okay. So that was a little example of if I want, for example, to introduce different ways of stepping. Yes.
Toto bol príklad.
So what I try to do, first of all, we had a forward stepping, then backward stepping, and then sideward stepping, and then cross stepping. Yes. All this can be within a repertory of introducing a gait. Yes, because gait means variation. Yeah. And the only stimuli I was giving now is just only the tactile stimuli without explaining what the patient should do or the model has to do. Yes? And this is just an example of what I said. I give a stimuli, but when I give a stimuli, before I should be known in advance what to expect as a reaction. This is important for the PNF.
Čiže teraz sme si ukázali nejaké rôzne druhy chôdze, že chôdza dopredu, dozadu, do bokov. No a vlastne tá chôdza bola vykonávaná bez nejakých zvukových verbálnych povelov. A my mu vlastne musíme očakávať, že čo vlastne sa stane našim pohybom. My musíme vedieť.
Yes, this is the very important thing, yes? So, for example, if you sit and if I try to help for sit stand, which is very important activity for many patients.
Keď je pomôžem pri stávaní.
She did nice preparation. So when I guide,
budeme viesť,
it should be in such a way that it's going to be easy.
V takom smere, že to bude ľahké.
So it means that the way that I facilitate, I know in advance, I should know in advance what to expect. And if it doesn't happen, then I try to change my stimuli to get exactly what I want. Yes?
Čiže našim spôsobom facilitácie očakávame nejakú reakciu, no a keď sa to vlastne nestane, tak my hľadáme nejaký spôsob, ako to potom vykonať.
This is one of the principles in PNF, yes? Of course, we use different kind of stimulus, not only the tactile and what you already have seen, that I do something and the patient just follow me. It's like dancing, like, yeah, because it's the same. Like when you dance like tango, yeah, the man gives the rhythm and he gives all the way. That's the figure is gonna happen, and actually the lady follows. Yeah, what is because one is the guider, the other is the follower, and this is something which really makes this nice and smooth and coordinated movement, which we see in the dancing. Yeah.
Čiže toto je jeden z tých základov PNF, ale nevyžúrame len tú taktilnú stimuláciu. A napríklad v tom tangu ten muž vlastne vedie svoju partnerku.
So when you stimulate in this way, then you can you will just guide us now. It's more safe, more clear, not confusing anymore. Yes? Or no? Or
Yeah,
it
it's
is?
fine. It's better.
It's fine. It's better. Yes. Yes. Different ways
Yes.
of getting down. Okay. No, okay. Just wait. Yes. So you can imagine, just have a seat.
Čiže viete si predstaviť,
You can imagine that this type of facilitation can be for people who we like to train them to go down to the floor. Yes.
tento typ facilitácie vieme využívať u ľudí, ktorých chceme dať na zem.
For example, elderly people,
Napríklad starí ľudia,
they have very often accidents. Yes, they can fall down.
to môžu často spadnúť.
And then it can be a problem for some of them once they go to the floor, if there is nobody to help, easily to stand up.
Môže to byť potom pre nich problém, že keď spadnú, že sa nevedia ľahko postaviť.
Because you need to know how to deal with that, how to teach. I remember once I was in Netherlands. I was there for a course, and after the course I've been to the street, and then I've seen an old lady. She fell on the street, and then there was 4 guys which really wanted to help her, and they didn't know how. She was really upset. She was very nervous, and they tried to pull from the arm. Somebody to hang. It was 4 boys. They really wanted to help, but they couldn't. And finally, it was a bit funny because you see this, they trying, and then they fell all together. And then I say, okay, then I involve. I say, stop, you cannot be like this. It should be organized somehow. And then I did stuff like that, and finally she managed to stand up. I mean, what I want to say is that this kind of facilitation actually shows the way of, and can change the motor behavior and can teach people how to do stuff which they don't know. Yes? I mean, everybody knows how from sit to stand, but I'm sure that you have treated patients after stroke or after other conditions who have a lot of problems to stand up from a chair. And if you don't know how to do this, how to facilitate, then it could be a little bit problem. Yes?
Čiže
For you and for them.
Čiže vlastne musíte vedieť, že ako naučiť pacienta sa napríklad postaviť zo zeme. Sakis bol v Holandsku a videl, že ako 4 muži sa snažia zdvihnúť ženu, ktorá spadla a nevedeli. No, že jeden ju ťahal za ruku, ďalší za nohu a im nešlo im to. Nakoniec všetci 4 spadli. No a on potom tam prišiel a im ukázal, že ako. Čiže ono je dôležité, že napríklad, keď máme pacienta, určite ste mali niekoho pro náhlej cievnej mozgovej príhode a vy ste sa ho snažili postaviť, že nie je to také jednoduché, že ho naučiť, ako to spraviť.
Mm-hmm. So, other conditions in which we can really think in relation to PNF is the pain.
Bolesť má ešte spojené s PNF.
We have sometimes people who, for example, from standing, when they try to pick up something, they get a spasm in the back. Yes, it's very common. And
máme ľudí,
they try to do this, and they, oh, look at the pain, and then, oh God. Or maybe you've seen patients in a chronic base. They have pain, let's say, 2-3 weeks, 6 weeks, 2-3 months, and still they cannot go down in the back because they have pain in the back. And sometimes, yes, we can say, okay, maybe it's a kind of muscle spasm, or it can be other reasons behind this, some structural issues, etc.
Dobre, čiže máme vlastne niektorých ľudí, ktorých vlastne sekne, keď sa predklonia, ale potom sú aj ďalší ľudí, ktorí sú chronickí, že majú stále ten pocit už pár týždňov. A vlastne potom vlastne my budeme uvažovať, že či to je nejaký svalový spazmus alebo už nejaká štruktúrálna porucha.
Mm-hmm. So, could you please sit on the chair? Imagine that somebody sits on the chair. Can you stay a little bit more to the front? And every time when you try to lean over and to touch the floor, the patient has this pain. He says, yes, I feel it.
Pacient povie, že teraz cíti bolesť, keď sa tak
Which gonna be a little bit more sensitive patient, because mostly of them, maybe they can do in the chair, but they cannot do from standing. Yes? It's just an example.
Že možno niektorí to dokážu sedieť na stoličke a ďalší stojí nevedia.
One of the stimuli we use in PNF, I'm not sure if you can see from there, I want you to be more in the middle. Please come.
Čiže jeden zo stimulov, ktoré využívame v PNF.
It's your lucky day. So, if I place my hands on the body,
uložíme si ruky na telo.
And this is probably one of the patterns you learn in the school, but with no, yes, I would say with no good explanations and finally reasons and indications.
Môže byť jeden zo vzorcov.
If I say, could you please look at me like this? That's good. And now I want you just to respond to my resistance. I want you to push against my body, my hands, yes. And try to come down.
Nech zatlačí oproti našim rukám a nech ide dole.
Yes. And let me slowly push you back. And then push down. Come to me. Come down. Push as much as you can. Yes. And go back. This is a pattern. We call it trunk pattern. Yeah? The name is rotation, flexion, rotation to the left. Yes. But if I try now to link with the problem we had before, and if I place my hands here and say push down, and all the time pushing pushing me down, try to reach the floor.
So teraz to prepojíme s tým problémom, ktorý sme mali.
Both arms. Well, you can do it here, diagonal. So come to me and push down. All the time, push down. And then, if I keep pushing this, then if the patient says, when you do this with the resistance against you, I don't feel any more the pain.
Môže nám pacient povedať, že keď to robíme s odporom, že necíti žiadnu bolesť.
Do you have a good explanation why this could happen?
Že prečo sa toto môže stať? Aký je jeden z dôvodov?
Because they're stimulating the exteroceptors, like the pressure, and the body reacts to the pressure.
How this can be linked with the pain?
Ako toto môže byť prepojené s bolesťou?
Let's see what happened. When she comes down, slowly,
keď ide pomaly dole,
she gets a pain, she gets a spasm. Where?
Dostáva spazmus kde?
In the back.
V chrbte.
And then I want to go back. So that creates maybe a spasm of the extensions.
Activation, she has stabilization of, so the segments are more stable and they move as they should. So there's no shift, there's no...
So you did already, you mentioned already
when you do it with the pressure.
the fact of the instability.
Yes,
That's
I was
why
thinking-
you
I
say
was
stabilization.
Yes, I was thinking.
To je príklad
Yeah.
stabilizácie z dôvodu nejakej instability.
Yeah, but this is an
Že to-
assumption.
Recipročná inhibícia.
Everything can be an assumption, of course. Excuse me?
Recipročná inhibícia, recipročná inhibition.
That sounds more,
She don't
in the
use,
first place, more logic and more easy to understand. Yeah.
she don't use the same muscles.
Yes, she does use the same muscles. That's a good remark.
Že
Because
nepoužíva
when she
rovnaké
does,
svaly.
excuse me, when she does by herself like this,
Keď to robí sama,
which muscles she uses?
ktorý sval pracuje?
Which muscles control this movement?
Ktorý sval kontroluje tento pohyb?
The flexors or the extensors? The extensors.
Extenzory.
Yes, and the type of contraction is eccentric,
Čiže to excentrická kontrakcia
which
extenzorov.
means that at the same time they're contracting, but the muscles are elongating. That means eccentric. Yes. So if this muscle gets a spasm, now what I do? I give resistance to the flexors,
Dávame
so we
oporu.
have neurophysiologically the reciprocal inhibition, and then can immediately remove the spasm and can have the result. Because if you accept what you said about the stability, instability could work, but in time. It cannot work directly. Yes, such a big difference what I'm doing. Yes.
Čiže tou aktivitou tých flexorov sa recipročne inhibujú extenzory.
Yeah. So that could be an easy explanation about this pain when the patient moves in one direction. And it's just it goes one example.
To môže byť jeden z príkladov.
Yeah. So okay, let's take something else. Let's say that this lady gets an operation in the knee.
Čiže teraz máme príklad, že pacientka má operované koleno.
Yeah, operation in the knee, and she is let's say the first days after that, and she has some restriction in extension, some restriction in flexion, which is common, and also she refused to activate the muscles around because this muscle around creates compression. Compression probably brings some pain.
Čiže má obmedzenú flexiu, extenziu, no a pri vlastne aktivácii svalov vzniká kompresia, no a pri tej kompresii pociťuje bolesť.
So if you try to do some manual therapy, she says, "Don't touch my knee, please."
Čiže ak sa snažíme spraviť nejakú manuálnu terapiu, povie, že nedotýkajte sa mojho kolena.
Then we get a problem. Yes.
Máme
If we
problém.
cannot touch the knee, what can I do as a physio?
Čiže čo môžeme spraviť ako fyzioterapeuti, keď nám povie, že nedotýkajte sa mi kolena?
So in PNF, because we use the muscle, the synergistic muscles, which what that means?
Čiže v PNF využívame
Muscles in
synergistické
the
svaly.
body who works under specific conditions together.
Čiže svaly, ktoré pracujú v špecifických situáciách spolu.
Yeah. One example of this is that if I'm, for example, in steady
Napríklad, keď stojím
in this and I push my arm on the wall like this,
a tlačím ruku do steny,
that creates activity on my trunk.
to robí aktivitu na trupe.
It's not just here, but activates also my trunk.
Takisto to aj aktivuje trup,
Basically, my extensors.
čiže extenzory.
Yes. So probably if I push strong, then maybe I feel something activity on my back or maybe on my glutes.
Však tlačíme silno, tak budeme cítiť aktivitu na chrbte, ale aj v gluteálnych svaloch.
So if I want to translate this more clinical, then I want to ask you, can you sit but step down?
Sit but step down.
Yes. Sit and step. That's good. Sit a little bit more. Yes, that's it. Okay. So imagine this is the injured knee.
Čiže to je to operované koleno.
And she says, okay, don't touch it. Yes. No. You need to step. Okay, that's like this. And now, what can I do? I can use again a trunk pattern
Čiže môžeme použiť hrudný vzorec
to activate these quads.
a aktivujeme tento kvadriceps.
See, how can I do this? If I'm standing here, and I place the arms here and here, then I can grab from the trunk. from the top, sorry. Of the
Chytíme z
shoulders.
vrchu.
So the pattern, it's going to be the opposite from that. Extension pattern.
Bude
Let's
extenčný
see how
vzorec.
it works. From here, then I can place my hands here and say, okay, move against my hands and go up.
Poviem,
Get
že tlač oproti našim rukám.
Because
choď
this
hore.
pattern goes in a particular way, goes to extension, rotation to the left. This is how we work in the PNF, yes?
Čiže tento vzorec
Within
ide
some diagonals.
s
Yes?
extenziou a rotáciou doľava.
But now see, if I just adapt this end position, which is extension rotation to the right, and side bending to the right, and then I stay here,
Čiže ostaneme tu.
I place my hands and ask her to stay here, stay there,
Ostan tam.
and all the direction of my resistance through the trunk goes to the foot, then she will start to feel, the quads.
Čiže
Let's
všetko odpor ide do kvadricepsov.
Is that true? Yes, it is. And it's a very strong contraction. Maybe it would be stronger contraction if I just do it manually, just push against my hands or whatever. And also this makes sense because actually this muscle here, does the same work like we need in walking.
Dáva to ešte aj väčší zmysel, lebo tento sval práve robí ten
Or
pohyb,
you
ktorý
need some
potrebujeme pri
sports.
chôdzi.
It's not just that we activate the muscle, but we're activating within the activity and the angulation and the activity which basically this muscle controls the knee. Yeah?
Čiže nielen aktivitu svalov, ale aktivitu pohybu, ktoré robí to koleno.
So if I like to make it more challenge, then I say, okay, extension, rotation here, stay there, and then I can ask, okay, can you lift up the other leg? Yes. And down, and up, and down, which now all the activity goes here. And remember, she's 2-3 days after operation.
Čiže len 2-3 dní po operácii a všetká aktivita ide tam do kolena.
If there is no medical restriction
Ak tam nie je nejaká zdravotná obmedzenie.
possibly after this kind of arthroscopy, we don't have such restrictions, that could be a very nice way to activate.
Čiže napríklad po artroskopii, kedy nemáme žiadne indikácie, prečo to robí.
And, okay, similar, we can have something to the shoulders.
Takisto aj niečo máme podobné pre ramena.
We have a very restricted and maybe operation to the shoulder.
Máme operáciu ramena.
Then I ask you to just stay like this. Maybe closer because I don't want to be so much loading. Yes. Like this. And now here, what can I ask? If I stay away again from the problem, I can ask, like I did before, a step back. Stay there. No. Just only one step. Stay there. Just stay there. So, what do you see now?
Teraz čo vidíte?
What happened to the shoulder?
Čo sa stalo tomuto ramenu?
There is a kind of relative movement.
Je tam pohyb. Taký.
I didn't do this, but something else happened.
Čiže nerobili sme toto,
The
ale niečo
trunk
sa stalo.
rotate.
Trup sa rotoval.
Yes. But also there is some rotation here. What rotation?
Aká rotácia je
Medial
tam?
rotation. But it's relative from the trunk, not from the shoulder. Yes, and this is much more, I would say, better and well accepted by the body than if I ask to do this movement or this movement. Yeah? Right after an operation of the shoulder or an injury. Understand?
Čiže je to rotácia trupom, rotácia pomocou trupu, nie pomocou ramena a telo to lepšie zvláda, ako keby sme robili.
Yeah. So when I do this, then I have external rotation here, I have internal rotation on the other side, and the opposite. Yes? So I can just ask, very simple, to change the steps and come from this side.
Poprosím ju zmeniť
If
kroky.
you maintain this elbow, then we can have nice rotations.
A máme tu
And
peknú
then
rotáciu.
just change this, and then come to me. Yes, in the similar way. And if I like to do it more challenge,
To spravíme
Then-
náročnejšie.
I can ask to be on the elbows.
Čiže bude na lakťoch.
Yes, your steps together. Yes, like this. And then it's more clear. And then change. Yes. And that could be also a very nice activity at home. The patient can practice at home. And we understand very well that in this stage, if we release a little bit the rotation, then the elevation could be much easier. Yes.
To môže byť aj pekné cvičenie na doma. A vieme, že keď obnovíme rotácie, tak môžeme obnoviť tým pádom aj tú flexiu, tú eleváciu toho ramena.
Yeah. And then maybe in a later stage, could you please be on the table on 4?
On what?
On 4.
Na
On, the,
4.
on quadrat. On 4. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. So in this position, maybe also because it's closed chain, could be well accepted.
Čiže možno tým, že to je uzavretý reťazec, že to bude
And
lepšie.
now, if I stay from the back and put my hands on the tubers and say push against my hands and come down
Dáme
to
ruky
me,
na
to
tubery.
the lateral. Yes. 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 Stay there.
Ostan tam.
You see again this indirect flexion.
Je tam nepriama flexia.
Yes. So go up, get up again. And if I stay more to the side and really diagonal and say come to me,
Teraz
this
pôjdem
is
v tej
going to be more
diagonále.
challenge for this arm,
To je väčšia výzva pre tú ruku,
but also for this arm.
ale takisto aj na tú druhú.
Yes. And you know, the good thing here is, go back, if I give resistance through the buttocks,
Čiže keď dávame odpor cez glútej,
it's
cez,
not only just this
Exactly.
passive mobilization, but we have something also active here.
či nie je to len pasívna mobilizácia,
See what I
ale aj aktívna.
Give me a second. When I say push against me and come to me, push, strong, and come to me, like this, push, and I give resistance. Which muscle is working in relation to the scapula and humerus now?
Ktoré svaly pracujú pri okolo skapuly a humeru teraz.
Which muscles are very active?
To sú veľmi aktívne.
Serratus.
Yes, serratus, but the serratus has nothing to do with the humerus. Serratus has to do with the scapula and the ribs. I'm talking about scapula and the humerus,
Čiže o svaly, ktoré
which is the
ovplyvňujú.
active muscle. The deltoids, yes. Can you imagine that in such an injury, maybe the deltoids is inhibited by the pain? It could be weak. And now we have an indirect way to activate the muscle. It's not just only the passive mobilization, but it's an active, because of the closed chain. Yes?
Čiže ten deltoideus nemusí byť len inhibovaný z dôsledku slabosti, ale z dôsledku bolesti. A tým pádom vlastne pracujeme ten sval aktívne, nie len pasívne.
Respectively to hips. If I place my hands here and say, push against my hands and come to me. Yeah, to me.
Okay.
So-
Diagonal.
Yeah, diagonal. Come to me. Yes? Then again, what happened on the hip level?
Čo sa deje na
Which
úrovni
muscles is active in this region?
čo sa
Around
tam
the hip.
aktivuje?
The hip and the pelvis.
Okolo bedra a panvy.
Abductor, extralotation muscle.
Not really.
Adductors and flexors?
Adductors and flexors, yes? You mean hip flexors, yes?
Okay.
Yes.
Čo flexujú
Basically,
bedra.
hip flexors and adductors, yes? When I say come to me, then it works with the hip flexors. So it means that if the patient has weak flexors, in this activity, which is closed chain, it can be activated. And it's easier than to do in the open chain. Yeah? And if I change my grips and come here and say, stay there, and let me slowly move down, slowly move down, slowly to my side. Yes, that's good. It's better to my side. Then, which muscles working on this area. Stay there and slowly down,
Latissimus. Big extensors.
Yes. This is latissimus, but in which way?
Contralto.
I mean, which type of contraction?
Aký typ kontrakcie? 2 typy. 3.
Eccentric, yes, because I said, let me slowly move you. Yes.
Breaking the movement.
Yes, breaking the movement, yes, controlling the movement. And what happened on the level of this, around the pelvis and the hips? Stay there, slowly down. Extensors, again, the glutes, or maybe the quads, in an eccentric way. Yeah? So again, this is a game around the muscles, which depends on where exactly I place my hands, and the resistance I provide, the manual resistance makes a difference here. Yes?
Čiže videli sme, že keď sme, podľa toho, ako sme mali priložené ruky, keď sme mali ruky priložené spredu na pánve, tak sme aktivovali flexory bedrového klubu. Keď sme zmenili polohu rúk, tak sme excentricky aktivovali čiže glutálne svaly a ešte latissimus dorsi.
I would say that the resistance finally, and it is the strongest proprioceptive stimuli, and it's the most, I would say, clear proprioceptive stimuli facilitation, because creates a very clear instruction to the body what to do. And there is no need for more. If you just say, push against my hands. Yeah? It's very, very nice and very easy. And if we have these problems around the scapula, are you okay with this position?
Yeah.
Čiže ten odpor je veľmi jasný.
If I stay again diagonal and say, come to me. I mean, more closer. Like
But
this.
it must be
Doesn't matter.
resistance in specific direction.
Listen, I'm all the time working in diagonals.
Stále pracujeme v diagonálach.
I'm working in the diagonals, and the reason I'm doing in diagonals is because in diagonals, the body responds much stronger.
Čiže v diagonálach telo odpovedá oveľa silnejšie.
See what I mean?
Dokáže?
I come back to that, but before I would like to say this. Could you please sit? Just sit. If you're tired, I can change. I can grab somebody else. Yeah?
Yeah.
You like to change?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes. Is anybody else who would
Niekto
like
ďalší?
to be involved? Yeah? To have this experience. Yeah, would you please come?
Nebo ja tiež.
Let me explain something about these diagonals and why all the time I move somebody in diagonals.
Ukážeme si
Could you
niečo ku
please sit a little bit
diagonálom.
forward? Okay, that's good. You should sit upright, okay?
Čiže spriamený
Just
postoj.
upright. That's good. And now I'm going to give him resistance from the trunk to the way back, okay?
Odpor trupu dozadu.
But now I'm going to do it in a diagonal way.
Čiže diagonálne.
And then I'm going to do it, I'm going to change this to straight and see what is going to happen. Yeah? So when I do diagonal, I do in this diagonal, I can do also in this diagonal. But now for him it's going to be easy if I pull up to the ceiling within this diagonal. So see what I mean? Stay there
Ostan tam
and don't let me move you.
a nechaj sa posunúť.
He's strong man and responds very nice. And I'll see what happened. I honestly don't change the amount of resistance,
Čiže odpor sa nezmení teraz.
but the only going to change is my position.
Len pozícia tela.
And now, he's not anymore strong. Yes? He cannot maintain this position. Let's go back here. The same amount.
Čiže rovnaký odpor.
Yeah, I didn't change, correct? Yeah. So stay there. And then if I change, he loses this. It doesn't feel the same. If I do in this direction, yes, let's do it in this direction, towards his feet. If I push like this, now he has strong legs,
Má silné nohy.
yes, but you have to tell me how about if I do here?
A keď
It's a bit different, yes?
je to rozdiel?
No? Not big difference, no? Let's see. Again. No, go straight,
I
go
need
straight.
more power.
Yeah, here. Yeah, not so. Although you can use both legs here, in this direction is better. Yeah? Let's see the arm.
Ukážeme si to na ruke.
This is a PNF pattern, remember from school?
To je vzorec z PNF.
Okay. So I'm going to do like we do in the PNF. I give resistance in this direction.
Čiže máme odpor týmto smerom.
I must,
You have, yeah. No, I just show now what I'm going to do, because otherwise, restart. I'm going to do resistance in this direction. And the other, I'm going to do resistance in this direction. Okay? But I want to use the same amount of resistance, my body weight.
Čiže rovnaký
Okay.
odpor.
So I stay here and say stay. Okay? And now I'm going to stay there.
Váhu svojho
And
tela.
say stay. It's a big difference now. Yeah? So restart. So again, I go there. And then I go there. He's true, man. Honestly, I don't push more, yes? I don't like to prove anything. Yes? Of course, if you're wondering why the diagonal is better, it's clear because in the diagonal we use more muscles.
Čiže v
Here I
diagonále
have a certain amount of muscles, just the flexors, but here I use the flexors, I use also rotators, and I use the muscle which can create side bending. And of course, in this line, he can use also his length, because that belongs to the same diagonal. So the more muscles creates better reaction. And this is in all examples. That's why on the 4, I was pushing on the side. So for patients,
That was my point, that it has to be
it has to be resistance in the diagonal in the PNF, yes. Not just resistance in any direction. That's why I gave you this example. So if we have such a benefit when we resist to the diagonals, then why we still stick in this direction or in this direction? Yeah? We have a technique in PNF which we call it stabilizing reversals. This consists of static contraction from one side to the other, from flexors to extensors. Yes? If it's for people who, for example, in different conditions, in different positions, they feel unstable. So if I ask you to sit a little bit more into the front, on the chair, and then if I want to create this technique here, and I gave you already the indication, it's for people who feel a little bit unstable, could be after stroke, after operation, whatever it can be, and they feel in sitting a bit unstable. So if I give in the way that we do in PNF, you're going to feel really, although the body is going to be very active, you're going to feel more safe. But if I do in a different way, or in the way we try to do, it's not the same. And you're going to feel more weak. See what I mean? I want you just to stay. Don't let me move you. Don't let me move you. Stay there. Yes, good. Stay there. Stay there. You see, I'm pushing to the ceiling, because I'm following these diagonals. Stay there. And stay there. And stay. And stay. I'm dealing now on the shoulder, I can go also on the pelvis, but it's the same. Stay. And now, if I do differently, like stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there, you see, he feels a bit more unstable. But when I really work with it within the diagonals, he feels more stable. And the patient who has problems to that, and he's more fragile and ready to fall, this is more beneficial, at least to start with. And of course, later on, if I like to make it more complicated, then I can move in any direction. Yes?
Dobre, čiže ako sme videli, tak keď pracujeme v diagonálach, tak sme silnejší, lebo dokážeme aktivovať viac svalov. Čiže nielen aktivovali sme flexory, ale samozrejme aj rotátory, on sa dokážal vlastne oprieť o svoju nohu. Ako vlastne v tejto pozícii, keď sme aktivovali len flexory. No a potom vlastne druhá ukážka bola na vlastne metódu, na jednu z foriem v PNF, sú tu tie stabilizujúce zvraty. No a vlastne videli sme, že on bol viac stabilný, keď sme tlačili týmto spôsobom. Je to vlastne lepšie začínať týmto a potom možno prejsť k niečomu inému.
Yeah. So the good thing with this PNF is that you can treat patients in a very bad condition, but patients who have a lot of demands, a lot of expectations, athletes in a high class, and you can just do it with one bed, one chair, and just the ground. You don't need specific equipment or something. You have to use your mind and your hands, yes, and you can be really very effective to that, yes. So, I was about to show you. Could you please come on 4 again? That would be nice.
Čiže výhoda je, že dokážeme to využívať aj u vlastne pacientov, ktorí sú celkom slabí, ale už aj u atletov.
On 4, yes.
Napríklad.
And if I want to do something more demand for the scapula, yes, and if I stay here, a little bit more to the front, that's good. And if I stay here and say, okay, again diagonal, yes, come to me. So he has to shift all the weight over this shoulder.
Čiže musí presunúť všetku váhu na to
Come
rameno.
Come, move. Stay there, yes. If I like to make it easy, and I resist here, and then I can say, stay there, and lift up this arm to the front.
Zdvihni tú ruku.
Lift up this arm to the front. Stay there. That could be an easy way, because he feels from my resistance, get some help. Relax.
Čiže vlastne s jeho odporom cíti pomoc.
Now, if I change my grips and go from back and start to pull, then it's going to be very hard.
Teraz bude ťažšie, keď to bude
Because I
ťahať.
say, let me slowly bring you to me, a little bit more. Let me slowly bring you.
Pomaličky k nemu.
Stay there,
Ostan tam.
and then lift up the arm.
Zdvihni ho.
Not easy. Yeah.
Ešte teraz to nie je
It's
ľahké.
shaky. But if I change and say, stay there, then becomes very stable.
A teraz je veľmi stabilný.
If I do this, hard. Stay. No. Just stay in the balance, don't fall. Okay. And of course, if I like to challenge more this shoulder here, of course I can give him
Keď
this
som
stimuli.
viac namáhať to rameno.
Come to me. Okay, stay there and then lift up this. And of course, here I can say, let me slowly move this down.
Pomaličky dole.
And lift up the shoulder up, all the trunk up, and that could be a very nice stability for the other side. Come on, yes.
To môže
I
byť.
want to work very hard with patients, and you see, it's really very difficult, really difficult. Yes, these kind of things. That's why I told you it can be very easy. It can be very hard. How this example can be very easy.
Čiže vie to byť aj veľmi ľahké, ale zároveň aj veľmi
Just
ťažké.
asking, can you please sit? Sit. And put your arms on the table. Then it can be more easy. So if I ask him just to come here, more here, and then stay there, lift up your hands, and then I can do this. Come to me, stay there, and then lift up this arm. Can be very easy. And I can say, okay, stay there, let me slowly move you down and come up. Come up, push against me, yes, and down and up. That could be very easy for him, especially if the stability was a little bit lower, so he can come really, let me show you, I mean this, if you could come closer, and this is going to be more vertical, you understand? You understand what I mean? Let me move you here. Yes. If this goes more vertical, then it's going to be even more easy. Here, stay here and lift up this arm. If I like to practice with a patient which is old or could be sometimes also helpful here, if this is a hemi shoulder. Hemiplegic shoulder, which I'm going to give support, and then I say, okay, down and up.
Dávame
With a lot
podporu
of support.
aj tomu ramenu.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying it can be very supportive or it can be very demanding. Yes.
Čiže vie to byť podporujúce, ale zároveň aj veľmi náročné.
Yeah. Okay, let me show you some other examples with extremity patterns. The patterns you learned at school and you didn't exactly realize why. Yes?
Čiže teraz si niečo ukážeme vzorce končatín, čo ste možno mali aj v škole.
Okay, let me show you something with you. What is your name?
Michael.
Michael. So Michael, please come. I will show you something and then you have to figure out why should I do this. Lie down supine.
Čiže teraz musíte zistiť, že vlastne, že prečo toto chceme spraviť.
Can I remove this?
Yeah.
Okay. Also the sock? It's possible?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's good. That's a PNF, so you have to do it like this. See now what I'm going to do.
Teraz sa pozerajte.
Are you familiar a bit with the patterns? Somehow? Can you recognize this pattern? Relax. I'm going to show you passive first. Foot down. Just foot down. And just come to me.
Spoznávate tento vzorec?
Do you know which pattern is this?
Aký to je vzorec?
Yep. That's more familiar, yes? Extension, abduction, interrotation, extension, yes? And in the school, we had to do this push down and see why, yeah? But now, let's see more clinical.
Teraz si to ukážeme viac klinicky.
I'm going to ask you to have foot down. No, this is the foot. Please down. Plantar flexion. Stay there. Control your knee.
Kontroluj si koleno.
Don't let me bend your knee. Yes, that's good. Stay there. And now, follow my resistance, okay? Let me slowly push up your thigh and push down the thigh. Here, push down to me. Towards me. Yes. Slowly up and push down. No. Don't bend the knee. Yes. And push down this. Push down to me. Here. Push down. Yes. Stay there. Let me slowly move you up and go down. Don't relax. Stay there. Don't relax. Let me slowly move you up and push down to me. Yes. And push down to me. Come on. Yeah. Push down to me. Yeah. What do we think? Why should I do this in the patient?
Prečo toto by sme mali robiť s pacientom? Ako nejaká indikácia klinická.
Can I do this in a patient after hip arthroplasty a month after operation?
Čiže pacienti s artroplastiou
1 month after you can do it.
bedra po mesiaci.
Yes, 1 month after. Can you do it?
Že môžeme to robiť 1 mesiac po tej artroplastike?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's safe.
I would say
It's safe.
Čiže je to bezpečné, áno.
Maybe even after a week. If
Možno.
it is cement, no problem.
Možno aj po týždni.
Yes? Why should I do this?
to activate.
To activate?
glutes.
Yes. Yeah? I activate these muscles.
Čiže aktivujeme vlastne glutei.
And I did with a strong lower muscles, which is the gastro
Čiže silný.
and the quads. What I did, I lock in these two movements,
To sme
foot
uzamkli.
down and this, and that creates in PNF, we call it irradiation. You know? Irradiation, what's that?
Čiže to
It's a,
iradiácia, toto bola.
it's a neurophysiological phenomenon, which means that when we use strong parts of the body, that creates an activity, and this activity doesn't really remains, but spreads. Spreads within the respective synergistic muscles, which in this case, the gastro, the quads, and the glutes belongs to the same synergistic group. So I wanted to reinforce these muscles by using the spread of excitation from here and here in order to make them more active. And then I practice them in a range of motion, which is very useful where? When I do a step. When I do this. Because this is exactly does what I was doing here in the pattern. This is extension, abduction, internal rotation due to pelvis rotation, like normal step. Yeah? So I can somehow transfer this to standing. Of course, in standing I need also balance. Yes, it's not exactly the same. But for muscle activity it's the same. So I can give a very nice preparation.
Čiže tou iradiáciou využívame tie silné svaly, tou synergistickou aktivitou aktivujeme potom tie gutej. No a to sa potom môže vlastne transformovať napríklad do chôdze.
And now I'm going to show you something which I can do 3 hours after this operation.
Napríklad niečo 3 hodiny po operácii, čo vieme
3
využiť.
hours. Is this the operated hip? Yes. Imagine it's in a hospital.
Že je to v nemocnici.
Yes. And I can just give in the hospital, this good thing. I can put a book. So this is very stable.
Čiže viem to oprieť si.
Yeah? But I need somebody to help me. And maybe it's good if you come around to see what I'm going to do. Because if you be around,
Čiže poďte bližšie.
I want somebody to give a stop here.
A niekto
Could
tam,
you please?
dajte stopku.
What is your name?
Alexander.
Alexander. So, Alexander, just give the stop. Okay? It's going to be safe, okay? We won't injure your fresh operated hip, no problem. 3 hours.
Čiže 3 hodiny po operácii.
Still with the tubes, with everything here, yes? Still. What can I do? I just move this leg.
Posuniem túto, no.
Do I have the right to move this leg? No problem, no indication, no contraindication, of course, yes? Then I say, okay. No resistance.
Okay.
No resistance this time. Just raise your hands down. Yeah, you're like this. But you have just only to follow instructions, yes? Can you maintain this position?
Vieš udržať túto pozíciu?
Can you?
Yes.
That's good. Okay. So if I ask you, can you move this knee to the contralateral shoulder
Čiže koleno k opačnému
just a little
ramenu.
bit and get out of my hands?
So my
Yeah. So can you move this up here?
max.
Max, yes? Can you do your best and remove your foot from my hand? Up, knee to the shoulder. Do your best, Can you lift up a little bit this pelvis? Yes, and go there. What do you feel? What he's doing?
Čiže čo robí?
Pressing.
He's pushing, yes?
Čiže tlačí.
So, at the moment he's pushing, what happened here? You like to palpate? You like to come to palpate to see the muscles here? Extremely work.
Čiže aktivuje tam tie svaly.
Hamstrings, the glutes area, everything is working here. And I didn't ask for anything. Yes?
A nič nežiadal vlastne.
And
A aktivuje.
indirect way, not direct, I didn't touch this. And it's very demanding. Yes? Yes? Just only because he's holding his leg here. In a PNF way. This is flexion, adduction, external rotation. Yeah?
Čiže nepriamo ovplyvňoval ten bedrový klb a to je vlastne pomocou flexie, extenzie a flexion, extension. Wait, no.
Flexion,
adduction,
external rotation.
čiže flexia, adukcia.
I didn't give any resistance.
vonkajšia
3
rotácia.
hours. Come on. Why should I give resistance? It's very close. Maybe I'm going to give some resistance to this arm. Or better to this arm.
Tam je odpor tej ruke.
Let's see how can make the link.
A urobíme prepojenie.
This is pushing, correct? That could be equal to stance phase. If I just put him in standing, it can be one leg standing, correct?
To môže byť ako stojná
So,
fáza.
If this is stance phase, engage. What this arm is doing?
Čo by táto ruka v fáze kroku?
This is
V
the
stojnej
left.
fáze.
Yeah? I just shift my weight from here to left, and then what this arm is doing? Normally. Go up and down.
Čiže ruka ide hore alebo dole?
Up goes up.
Goes up. Yes? And this goes back. Or no? Is this gate pattern?
Je to,
Let's see if the gate pattern can help me. Then I grab this arm away from the injury, yes? And then I say, could you give me fist? Just squeeze my hand. No. Like this, like no one. Squeeze my hand. Not okay. And then I touch his shoulder and say, could you please touch my chest? Come. No. I'll show you. This. Can you do this? Okay, come to me. Come. Touch my chest. Come. Good. Stay there. Don't let me move you. Stay there. Don't let me move you. Can you bend a bit the elbow?
trošku ohni lakeť.
Can you bend the elbow? Okay. Can you bend the elbow here? Bend the elbow. That's good. Stay there and push against me. What he's doing?
I
Hello.
was pushing.
Hello. Really hard.
Čiže tlačí veľmi silno tou nohou.
And I do something with the arm.
A robíme niečo s rukou.
Yes. And the patient feels safe.
A pacient sa
Nothing
cíti
wrong
rovnako.
there. Yes. How about this? What this arm is doing in this case? Goes back? Is that goes back?
Tá ruka
So
ide
wrist up.
dozadu.
Push down. This. Wrist up. Hands up. But this in contact. Don't let me move you. Don't let me. Yeah, that's good. It's less, but now if I involve my hands to the scapula and say, pull the scapula down.
Čiže dáme si ruky na
Stay
lopatku.
there. Stay there. Push down this. To the arm. Push down. Push down. Yeah. What do you think again?
He's pushing a little bit more with the heel.
Yeah, with the heel down now. It's a bit different, yes?
Yep.
So he uses more extension than this. Yes?
Čiže
If I
využíva
come
viac
here,
extenziu a tlačí viac petou.
If I do, for example, this. Yes, wrist up. Head up. Hand up. Okay. Bend a little bit this more. Stay here. It's another pattern.
Ďalší vzorec.
Did you practice this? No. We call it lifting.
Zdvíhanie.
Yes. Stay there. Don't let me move you. Yes. And push down. Down. All the way down. Also this arm down. 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 Push down. Yes. Push down.
Yeah.
Push down. Push down. Yes, of course. Yes. Maybe from this side. The same. But now change diagonal. Like this. Stay there. Yes. Push down. Push down. Can you lift up this leg? This leg up. Yes, stay there. Push me down. Down. All the way down. All the way down. All the way down. More, more. If I can become more aggressive, if it is 1 week later.
Môžeme byť
weeks
viac
later.
agresívny, keď to je týždeň po.
Yes. So as examples, again, of indirect approach, not direct, using irradiation, strong muscles for weak muscle, for injured muscles. Yes. Safety, and good preparation for one-leg standing later, for standing. Yes, because the muscles, these muscles is very important to support the pelvis and the horizontal position of the pelvis, and in order to have a good walking ability.
Čiže využívame tú iradiáciu, čiže pomocou vlastne silných svalov ovplyvňujeme tie slabé svaly tým nepriamnym prístupom. No a čo môže sa potom vlastne čo môže byť nápomocné pri chôdzi, napríklad pri tej stojnej fáze na jednej nohe.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's not necessary to make such a big jump from this position to one leg standing, but we can do something first as a preparation, or maybe something in the middle.
Môžeme niečo v
We can
strede
do things in the middle, yes? So, can you please come and sit? I want you to sit in this edge. Yes, this pad is not like this leg out. Come, sit out. No. Look there. But come.
Oh.
Yes. Miguel is a tall guy, so I'm not sure if this is going to work here with this table. Have a table can lift up to here. My clinic, but anyway. We will see if that works on him. Yes. See what I want. Not right after the operation.
Že nie hneď po operácii.
Of course, some weeks later, or maybe some days later. Yes?
Ako dní, týždňov po.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It would be better if it is a little bit higher, yeah, for you. But yes, so here, of course, again, I can work here, and then I can say, okay, now, yes, in this position, can you lift up this leg, this pelvis? Yes, and down. Yeah, can you lift up? You can imagine if the table is a little bit higher, then you're going to have a better position on the knee.
Ak by bol trošičku
Yeah,
vyššie,
because
tak je
now,
lepšie,
yes,
lepšia pozícia
maybe there.
kolena.
Which I can control with my knee. So come up. when I lift up from this side, what happened here?
Čo sa stalo
Lift
tam?
up and stay and give resistance. No, stay and I give resistance here. What happened here? Activity. Yeah? Because these muscles shortening lifts up on the other side. And I practice on the other side and say down and then move up. Could be kind of half standing, position. It's nice and down and then come forward. Lift up this neck as well. Yes, from here and come forward. Make a step forward and go backwards. Yes, and come forward and come backwards and come forward. So I can also have some kind of mobility here. Yeah? At the same time, activity with mobility. Yes?
Je to tá aktivita spolu s mobilitou.
Yes. And of course, later on, if he's standing and he's still afraid of this, then I can give some support from the bed. What is this? What is those bricks?
Yeah.
Yes.
How much?
Yeah, one. It's okay.
How many, right?
Just one.
How many?
To give him a little bit support. Maybe you need a bit more higher support, like this. Yes. And then again, I can walk directly steady. Yes. And say, for example, can I grab this to the front? Yes. And then here, I can say, come to me. Shift the weight on me. And go back. Shift the weight on me. And go back. So push against my hands and come. That's more active. Yes. And come. Yes. But of course, maybe he's afraid, so he needs a bit more support. Then I go one step back and I give
Keď sa
him
bojí, tak
support.
mu dáme
and say, come.
oporu.
And maybe I can do this. I can do this. And I can do this. I can do this. Yes? So I'm going to show him in the beginning. And what I'm controlling here, his knee, not to compensate. And I give him enough support. Later on, maybe like this. Come. Here. Come. There. Come. There. Yes? Later on, here. Come. And go. And come. And go. And come. And come. Come. And come. And then go on with walking. And then stuff like we did, yeah? With, I forgot your name, sorry. Yes, which gonna be more, yeah, in walking. So that could be a little bit progress, how this thing with the hip and the knee, whatever can be developed.
To môže byť taký ten progres, keď napríklad po operácii bedrového kĺbu, kolena.
Yeah. It's something else which you like to ask particular.
Také špecifické otázky.
We have, for example, a case with a patient which you want me to give you an idea.
Taký
with
klinický
a PNF,
prípad.
how it's going to be.
I just, in general, if it's more limbs you're dealing with, or is it
Spinal issues?
because you were talking about weight shifts and the gait and so if you deal more with the limbs, like the activation of the hips and as you were showing now, or is it more the gait? Or
Otázka je, či to je viac na končatiny alebo skôr na chôdzu? Tak
No, I just gave you some activities with the gait because the gait is something which is for many patients a problem, yes, in rehabilitation. It's one of the most common demands, expectation of the patient. What do you want? I want to walk again. Of course, you can do more specific thing with the arm function.
because what I like very much about it is that you can be very specific and really when you put in the right position with right direction
Yes.
and right
Yes.
resistance, then you can activate whatever you want.
Yes, exactly. It's not just the leg, because sometimes, for example, if somebody has an issue with the neck, and then I can deal with the feet for the neck.
I loved the on the floor activation of the scapula and intra and extra rotation.
Yes. In the PNF, we can treat, I would say, orthopedic patients, neuro patients, rheumatology. There is no restriction. We're going to have a good ideas, good therapeutic ideas for any diagnosis. There is no restriction in PNF because it's an active process. We can have plenty of positions in which we can work. We work basically with activities, and we can deal many problems.
And the principles are the respiratory inhibition and the dynamic, the change of those and the irritation.
Yes, we have many principles. You mean neurophysiological principles, correct?
Yeah, I mean for the PNF.
For the PNF?
Yes.
Ooh, we use many. For example, we use, yes, like you said, reciprocal inhibition. Yes, which means one muscle is working, the other is inhibited. We have post-isometric relaxation. This comes from PNF. Actually, this first described hold and contract relax from PNF first. Yes. We have all these principles from Sherrington. Yes. We have a principle which we call it successive induction. You know what's that? Successive induction means that when I work, when I have two directions, one is weak, the other is not. Yes. One is strong. So imagine that we have a patient who has problem into lifting up the arm. So what I can do in this case, I can say squeeze my hand and go down, diagonally down. Now we activate, let's say, the strong extensors in this example. And then if directly this position I say, if I switch my hands and say wrist up, up, wrist up, wrist up,
wrist,
yeah,
sorry.
and go up, and then squeeze my hand and go down. And if I have this direct change, wrist up and go up, squeeze my hand, go down, wrist up and go up. And this is called technique of dynamic reversals. We can do it in supine, in standing, in sitting. Now, Michael is a tall guy. It's going to be better if he was sitting. What is the hypothesis here? Actually, what is the principle here is that when I resist the extensors, down, go down, these muscles activating, and when I suddenly ask for reverse, move up, then the activity of these muscles goes to the other muscle chain, to the antagonistic. So you can imagine what happens if this is weak if this is strong and the other is weak. We try from the strong muscles, and the time of changing, the activity goes to the weaker, so the weaker can be more efficient. This we call it successive induction. It's years before, and recently we have some articles, recently when I say about 10-15 years ago, it came again, describe exactly this, that it's possible. And of course we use this for coordinating movements when you throw something, for athletes when they do service, which they have this flexion and then directly extension, how this can help. And we see from juggling how this is effective when I go back and then to make this more effective. So this used in the PNF, of course in rehabilitation, not just in sports, for weak muscles, for stuff like this. Yes. Yes.
Dobre, čiže tu bol príklad tých dynamických zvratov, alebo tá successive, neviem ako to presne preložiť, tu successive
induction is the name.
Successive induction, neviem. A čiže to vlastne pomocou silných svalov v určitom fáze pohybu, keď rýchlo zmeníme, aktivujeme tie slabé. Ale ešte potom vlastne predtým otázka, čo bola, chôdzu ukazoval z dôvodu preto, lebo to je vlastne jeden z najčastejších problémov, ktorý môžu mať pacienti. No a indikácie PNF, tak vlastne máme široké spektrum indikácií, čiže je to vlastne väčšinu pacientov dokážeme liečiť pomocou PNF, čiže ortopedickí pacienti, neurologickí pacienti.
I have information I can share with you if you like, yes. So, yeah, we have of course the irradiation, which we already discussed about this, the spread of excitation of the, let's say, nervous system. When the nervous system gets a lot of stimuli from strong activity, then spreads this excitation to the weaker parts. This is what we do. Actually, this goes everywhere, but we direct, if you know how to do this, then you can direct exactly in the location that you need, that it's needed, as an indication.
Čiže tou iradiáciou dokážeme presne zacieliť tú špecifickú indikáciu.
Yes. And of course we have principles, other principles which I didn't show you. It's approximation, traction. We use the stretch, yes, which also the stretch reflex. Yeah. This is another stimuli, stimuli.
Ďalšie princípy sú tá aproximácia, trakcia, potom ten stretch, to natiahnutie.
We use the timing
Timing alebo časový sled.
the timing of the movement, which is the sequence within activity. Yes, very important. Yes. Yeah, the motor control actually comes when we say motor control. What do we mean? We mean actually the ability to move and to stay stable at the same time. This is the motor control. Yeah?
Čiže motorická kontrola je schopnosť sa hýbať, ale zároveň byť stabilný.
Yes. So, and this, of course, this needs different, yes, yeah, we already explained this in the course, the stages, which I think makes more clear things regarding this, yeah, motor control. Yeah, we describe the mobility first.
Čiže mobilitu najprv.
Yeah, as a first stage, mobility, yeah, which means range of motion.
Rozsah pohybu.
And muscle activity to support this mobility.
Svalová aktivita, ktorá podporuje
At the
mobilitu.
same time, we have the stability
Máme stabilitu,
as a second stage, the static stability,
statickú,
the ability to maintain one position, the dynamic stability,
dynamická.
which means the ability to lose this position to find again,
Čiže keď stratíme pozíciu, že sa dokážeme naspäť vrátiť.
and more advanced, we have mobility on stability.
Potom máme
Yes.
mobilitu
This is
na
all the time
stabilite.
relation between mobility and stability. This is the motor control. Mobility and stability is this example with gait, that I can move this leg, but on a stable base. Yes.
Čiže príklad na chôdze, že dokážeme hýbať s jednou nohou a jedna je...
And when this
Stabilná
develops
báza.
well, then I can have walking, which is skill.
A chôdza už je vlastne schopnosť.
But the skill is the finest level of motor control, which can have a very nice combination of to be stable and at the same time to be mobile, and at the same time I can be stable. Yes, all these things. Yeah.
Čiže tá schopnosť je najvyšší stupeň tej motorickej kontroly.
Yeah. And of course in PNF we can work on the bed, we can work on the mats, we can work in activities. Yes, we can use also other stuff sometimes, when you need some sticks, but not really something special equipment. You don't need to invest money to something special. Yes. If you really like to deal with the PNF, then you should use basically your mind. This is the most important. And of course, a little bit your hands, because we have some skillful, let's say, ways to facilitate, let's say, within the patterns. But it's not, basically, we need clear clinical reasoning.
You create a closed chain most of the time.
Yeah, closed chain. Closed chain is created not by PNF. We use the PNF. We use it in the PNF.
You put it in the closed chain then?
Yes, I put it in the closed chain when it's needed, especially when we have to do activities, which anywhere in closed chain, like walking, is closed chain
In the
anyway.
beginning it's
Yeah.
effective.
It's effective, yes. Yes.
Čiže v PNF nepotrebujem žiadne pomocky, stačí nám nejaké lôžko, nejaká podložka, poprípade nejaké palice. Čiže vlastne najdôležitejšie je vlastne používanie našej hlavy a potom vlastne naše klinické uvažovanie. A potom vlastne otázka bola na uzatvorené reťazce.
The unfunction, arm function. Arm function,
To je schopnosť
which
ruky.
means reaching, grasping, manipulating, doesn't get that much benefit from closed chain. No.
Funkcia
Because
ruky nemá veľký
It's
benefit
the
v
difference between
uzatvorenom
the arm and
reťazce.
the leg. The leg works in a closed chain.
The
The gait.
connectivity of the shoulder.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be a good introduction, but still,
When you mean dexterity, manipulating.
not only, because, for example, if I have to grab this here and to be stable, this is totally different from be stable here for my scapula. This is much easier. Because closing the chair, it gets all the time feedback.
That's the example you used when you were pushing him, and then you were like pulling.
Yes. And what I mean is, when I push this gives me through the
Support.
support, of course. It's kind of the force reaction which I get organized very nice my muscles, so I can work very nicely here. But if I hold something here, I'm totally.
You would be
alone.
standing here like on the bus, and it would move suddenly.
Yes,
It
yes,
would be challenging.
yes. You're right. But what I want to say, to do this, it's totally different story. And you cannot really expect by working on a cloud chain to be able to do that. Yes.
Čiže uzatvoreného reťazca máme väčší benefit, keď využívame dolné končatiny.
Of course, it's
ako pri horných končatinách, lebo vlastne toto nenacvičujeme v uzavretom reťazci, v kinematickom reťazci.
Yeah. So, for example, this means reaching. Yes, I can do this. I need stability here, but in order to reach, nothing to do, because in order to reach, then I need also cognitive issues like spatial orientation thing. That's another story. Oh, it's very big
Ale keď sa
story.
chceme za niečím
Not the same.
natiahnuť,
But with the leg, it's not. Because the leg, basically, I need for support. Because this is basically what we do, walking. Yeah. Of course, we have the swing, but swing is also important. The support is, the stance is for the lower extremity is the most important.
čiže keď sa chceme natiahnuť, tak nepotrebujeme len vlastne tú nejakú svalovú silu, ale zároveň aj priestorovú orientáciu. No a potom je to iné vlastne pri chôdzi, lebo v chôdzi potrebujeme aj tú švihovú fázu, ten švih.
Mm-hmm. Of course, for looking somebody to demo something, you cannot learn for sure, but at least you get an idea, yes, about what this finally could be. Maybe change your assumptions. Oh, finally it's not like we thought it was in the school. So really happy to share with you some thoughts regarding this.
And we thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
you're
sharing
welcome.
this.
You're welcome. And by chance, I mean, if next time I be here, we can organize something else if you like in rehabilitation, not just only in the PNF. If you have a specific topic or you like to, yes, because I'm also Boba teacher and also minor therapist, so we can create something else.
I have one
Yeah.
question.
Yes. Sure.
How PNF work with tactile stimulation?
Mm-hmm.
Čiže otázka je, že ako pracuje PNF na taktilnú stimuláciu? A funguje na...
Tactile, audio and visual stimulation.
Mm-hmm.
Taktilno sme si ukazovali na začiatku.
Ale taktilná je dotyk.
Nie taká,
Taktilná.
To znamená, že aj audio,
Aha, že-
aj visual.
Čiže
Že ako
Tactile.
pracuje
Aha.
how you work with audio or visual stimulation in PNF method.
Have a seat.
čo príklad bude, že ako využívame vizuálnu a zvukovú stimuláciu v PNF spolu.
The same example here, okay? Look forward. Look forward.
Pozeraj sa dopredu.
I'm gonna do in the PNF now. Stay there.
Ostan tam.
I use this amount of force. You're a strong man. Do it. Wrist up. The more you keep this wrist up, the better you are. Because irradiation from here, goes to the trunk. Stay. Okay. This is one example, okay? Now, let me guide your head. This, and look here. Okay? Keep looking here, but keep this side bending here, okay? Wrist up, like before, and stay. And tell me if there is any difference by looking, okay?
Čiže otázka
No,
je, či
don't
tam je nejaký rozdiel, keď sa pozerá.
And stay. Look and stay. Is there any difference? What do you think? When you look and you don't look? Of course, now you use the backrest because you get tired. And you don't feel the difference. So by looking, the muscle contraction becomes stronger.
Čiže keď sa pozeráme, tak svalová kontrakcia je
If
silnejšia.
you don't look, this is not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you don't use the backrest and it's more clear. That's one example. Yes. The vision reinforces the muscle activity.
Čiže
That's one thing. The vision helps to control the body. Yes. Can you be in one line standing?
Čiže zrak podporuje tú svalovú aktivitu.
while laying standing?
On stojí na jednej nohe.
Oh, yeah.
Higher?
Vyššie.
Yes. A bit higher to be more challenge. Would you let me move your head, please? Stay there.
Easy to say.
Can I move your head?
Be strong.
When I move your head and try to get the vision from what you're doing, especially in this critical condition, while in standing, it's hard. Yes? Imagine patients who have problems with the balance, and they look forward, they have some orientation. Stroke patients look all the time down. But when you ask them, can you look up? Boom. Yes? So the vision, it's important for posture control.
Čiže zrak je dôležitý na tú posturálnu kontrolu.
They
Napríklad
use it in PNF. Yes? And of course, reinforce, as I said, for posture control, guides the movement of the head. Yes, yes. So, for example, if you lie down, you asked, so lie down. Would you try to do the sit-up? That's good. Easy, yes? Yes, go down. Now you have to look your belly and do the sit-up. Any difference?
Je tam nejaký
Even
rozdiel.
easier, yes?
Je to ľahšie.
Can you
Keď sa
look at
pozrie.
me? No, you don't look at me. You lost me. Yes. Can you go down? Not from the mirror. Directly. Look at me. Look at me. Turn your
Že
head.
pri...
No. Turn your head.
Čo to šlo? A pozeraj sa na neho
Look
celý
at
čas.
me. Can you look at me? That's good. And now go down.
Teraz poď dole.
Look at me and stand up.
Teraz poď hore.
Is the same easy?
Harder.
Harder, yes.
Čiže je to ťažšie.
So again, the same, yes? Because when we look, that's organized the muscles within the chain. It's part of the irradiation. So when I look down, then I use my flexors. When I look what I'm doing, that makes it easier. Yes?
Čiže keď sa pozeráme dole, tak organizujeme tie svaly. Organizujeme flexory, čiže to znamená, že ten pohyb je jednoduchší.
Can you explain me what to do in order to stand up easier?
Čiže čo treba spraviť, aby sa ľahšie postavil? Ako mu to vysvetliť?
Your legs must be more. Oh, it's good. Your body weight move to the front side.
This?
Yeah, okay. Doing flexioning with your hip and spinal cord.
Spraviť flexia trupu.
And you must push your legs to the ground.
Čiže má tlačiť nohy
More
dole.
your body weight more to the move your body weight more to
Stop
the
pushing or keep pushing?
both
Both?
legs down.
Both legs down.
Yeah.
Like this?
But you must have your body weight move up.
Where?
To the on your legs.
On my legs.
Yeah.
My body. And then to do this.
I suggest chin up and
Chin out.
Chin up
Chin up, like this. And then
and hands.
Hands here. And then what?
We move. Go like this and up.
Like this. Is it easy?
It's not easy.
I ask you to make it easy.
Čiže nie je to ľahké postaviť niekoho. Tak.
Can you imagine to give all this explanation to a patient which is 70 years old after stroke?
Viete si predstaviť dávať toľko informácií pacientovi po cievnej mozgovej príhode?
It's gonna be crazy, yeah?
Yeah, it's hard.
especially when it's hemiparatic and when you can.
Hmm?
When the patient after the stroke is hemiparatic, so
Hemiparatic. There are more problems. Yes.
even
But
more,
it's a
yeah.
process. I would start with moving forward and backwards, moving the trunk, and if he's comfortable with it, then we would go on next to the next step. So
Yeah, I understand. But how you can do it on me, Alexander? I challenge you.
So you want me to stand you up?
Yeah.
Okay. I would definitely ask you to and try to move your trunk and then to go with, as I said, the chin up and if you,
Like this? And play a little bit. Yes.
I know.
I'm
So
good enough.
the trajectory would be like go like this to the stars
To the stars.
and out we go.
Trajektória je k hviezdám.
Listen. It might be a little bit easier, yes? First of all, not giving that much explanations.
Čiže je to jednoduchšie, keď nedávame
Keeping
veľa.
the same principles like you do, but without saying so many words. And of course, this is not easy for every patient, especially for strokes. Don't give this. It's the old-fashioned bobat. You know why? Because if this is too paretic and the patient has to lift up this is too heavy. Not easy.
Hold it.
We think it's easy, but it's not.
Toto vlastne nerobte, lebo to je vlastne
Yeah?
starý bobat. Že
I didn't get you?
They can hold it in the air.
No, they cannot.
No.
Because this is
It's-
heavy.
and to
Then
pull
they
the
have to
focus
hang.
pull-
You know, as they have to hang, this has dramatical influence to the trunk. So what I was doing before, and remind me, Vanessa, with Vanessa, it wasn't. It seems to be easy, but it's it's sophisticated again. So what you tried to do on me, it was just this. Let me guide you. Don't resist. Let me guide you. Fucking easy. Sit down. Just follow. Easier or no? Easier or no? Easier than yours?
Cannot compare with.
No, I mean easier with your all these explanation,
yeah.
chin out and
Yeah.
so.
I get your point, of course.
Yeah, so it's going to be something easy. It's exactly what you explained to me, that the body has to come forward.
Čiže telo
That's
musí
it.
ísť dopredu.
Why should I do this chin out, look to the stars and
And
do
he
this
doesn't
stuff
see
like this?
where he's heading to when he tries to stand up and he's looking up, so he can use the vision, so he can basically follow the movement when he's looking up instead of looking down. So it's helping and visual also.
Looking
But
up.
that makes the
Yeah, but
difference
see
also
now,
when you
here,
look down.
if I look up, then I do too much extension, and this doesn't help me. But I just look down there. That's normal to stand up. Why should I look up? I don't know.
It's easier when you look down because
No. I just look forward, not really down. But there, just look there. And just
Pozeráme
this.
sa dopredu, nie dozadu, ale...
Simplicity.
Yeah, it's implicit. The implicit way it seems to be easier. Not so many explanations. Can you put me down on the chair?
Najjednoduchší spôsob je bez veľa takých tých povelov.
So. You're not bending your knees, and you're doing.
You can ask me if you like.
Okay, so bend your knees a little bit.
If you leave me, I'm full. You understand? I think yes. I'm too heavy now.
Yeah.
So, you like to try with me?
Put your chest to my hand. And follow my second hand. Okay, and sit down.
This is not the opposite.
Nerobí sa to, nie je
Do
to
you think it's the
opačne,
opposite? Could you please come?
ako sme robili.
No, stand up. Just can you have your hands? Relax. Can you follow me?
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
Like a little baby.
Okay, baby. Of course, if it's a patient, what I did,
Čiže čo urobil?
what you did wrong,
Čo ste
Maybe.
robili zle? Možno.
when you try from here and you push this back, then
Yeah.
choose the balance.
Keď tlačíte dozadu, stráca rovnováhu.
The center of mass should never, in the sitting down, never gets out of the base of support. Never. If I have this, then I can do it in any way.
Čiže ťažisko nemá ísť
Push her down.
z bázy opory.
If she has good legs, she's gonna sit. Understand? Doesn't matter how I grab. From here. This is what I have. This all the time down. Here. Yes? I can do from the hand. I can do from the chest. I can do more clinical. The patient. Yes? This is some rules which you can do a bit easier than complicate. And especially with patients, don't give too much instructions. Do
I
this,
think
do
we are
that.
too overthinking.
Overthinking, yes, I
Overthinking the
know.
instructions.
I know. This is it. And we think that, especially with the patient case, we should give a lot of instructions. They don't listen. They are not in the condition to listen. Of course, some patients are very analytical. This, yes, only with little instructions they can do this. Oh, maybe they need a little bit more. But giving too much instructions, in most of the cases, the thing becomes more complicated.
Čiže keď dáme príliš veľa inštrukcií, to robíme to zbytočne viac komplikované. Ako áno, niektorí pacienti sú viac analytickí, čiže chcú tie povely, ale zvyčajne je to jednoduchšie, keď nemáme tie nejaké povely.
So sometimes this information is not good. I mean, the auditive stimulation not much in terms of stimulation. But the commands is okay, yeah? So, for example, if I want to facilitate an action command, then I say, okay, come up. Then it's easy. I can do this, yes? This command really makes the activity on the proper time.
Tento povel ako na podporenie tej aktivity.
But in general, myself, I don't use that many words, not many explanations. I just try to do and try to create automatic reactions. Yes? So if I like to walk with this lady, I'm going to create automatic reactions. Like
Ukážem
this.
si teraz tú automatickú reakciu.
Just to walk, not to say what to do. For example, make a step, not good.
Čiže nehovoríme, že čo má urobiť,
Just to guide.
len ju
Of
vediem.
course, depends on the possibilities, on the capacity. Sometimes I need more handling, more close. Sometimes more away. Sometimes more light. Yeah. Some people overreacting. Yeah. Yeah. Depends, and they don't feel very. Yeah. Many things can happen. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's it. I think it's too late, huh? Okay. You can stay here all night. Trust me. I have many things to share. Especially if you give me questions, then I never stop.
I can imagine staying here.
Yeah. Okay. Once again, thank you for being here. I hope that you like it. Yes. You get some points of PNF, and who knows? One day maybe we'll meet each other. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Ďakujeme.